And this is a kid who just graduated kindergarten. So it's terrifying.
This was 6 miles from Camp Mystic, where at least 27 people died and 11 remain missing. President Trump says the administration will resume arms shipments to Ukraine for self-defense against continued Russian attacks.
I'm not happy with President Putin at all.
The president there with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu at the White House, who says he's nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Trading partners are starting to get letters outlining new tariff rates, including 25% for Japan and South Korea, up to 40% for others.
A pause on tariffs announced back in April was set to expire tomorrow, but White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says they won't be collected until August 1st.
Or deals will be made, and those countries continue to negotiate with the United States. We've seen a lot of positive developments in the right direction.
President Trump has started sending out letters to more than a dozen trading partners, notifying them of new tariff rates on imports, among them major trading partners Japan and South Korea, who are both facing 25% tariffs on products sold in the U.S. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Federal judge in Maryland says figuring out the Justice Department's plans for Kilmar Abrego Garcia is like nailing Jell-O to a wall. He was deported to El Salvador, brought back, and could be sent away again as he faces criminal charges in Tennessee.
The judge trying to pin down the government's plans that include possible deportation. Again, his lawyer, Simon Sandoval Moschenberg.
If they want to deport him to a third country, they need to name that country, and they need to describe the process by which they're going to give him due process.
The judge set another hearing on that for Thursday.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A man shot and killed by police. Your radar is clear. It's 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 88 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. A man died after Greenfield police shot him during a call on Monday night at a home. Police say it started as a domestic situation and just got worse from there. The man was taken to the hospital. He died. Greenfield police confirmed that their officers were involved and have placed them on administrative leave. Indiana State Police are now handling the investigation. We're expecting to hear more about this situation soon. You've likely heard about the recent shooting in downtown Indianapolis that left 2 kids dead. Last night, the Indianapolis City County Council talked about tightening the city's curfew to get kids off the streets earlier.
And we can't do it alone. The IMPD don't have the capacity to do it. Juvenile Center have the capacity to do it. We need about hundreds of people to help support this.
And Democrat Leroy Robinson, who chairs the City County Council's Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, introduced a proposal Monday night to change the city's youth curfew hours. His plan would actually make the city's hours earlier than the state law allows. You've probably heard a lot about kids committing violent acts. John Herrick reports on how the prosecutor says the parents could be prosecuted.
Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears says those are often complicated cases, but it can be done.
Well, the one thing that we would have to prove is that a specific parent knew or should have known that their child had a firearm and that their child had that gun.
He says both he and the police will look at activity on their phone and social media. It's something Mears says he's doing a lot right now while trying to find who's responsible for the recent mass shooting in downtown Indianapolis. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton will miss the rest of the season or next season with an Achilles injury. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard said Monday that nothing can get in the way of his rehab.
But the real work starts now in terms of rehab, and it's tough. When you take a player who loves basketball, Ty just doesn't love basketball. He talks about basketball. He is basketball.
And Pritchard said Halliburton will often text him about basketball and players to watch all across the country. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. You have traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Hey, just a heads up. The Social Security Administration just announced they're now projected to run out of money 1 year earlier than expected. Your benefits could be cut by as much as 23%, and the average person could lose more than $100,000 in lifetime income. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
So, if you've saved more than $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. Just call 317-648-5120. This is not some off-the-shelf report. This is a customized analysis that could help you get every penny out of your Social Security. And it's free. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Hey, southwest side Kentucky Avenue was shut down between Maywood Road and the River Lane. This is because of a crash involving somebody getting hit by a car while walking on an unlit part of Kentucky Avenue. This was early this morning, so we're going to have to avoid Kentucky Avenue in that area. In the meantime, interstates look fine. People moving up to speed, no sweat in the construction zone on the south side or the northeast side. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh the vibe with 69 cents. Large, big gulp drinks. Speedy Rewards app required. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's going on?
Hey, Tony. Good morning. It's actually really refreshing this morning with numbers into the 60s currently. Should be in for a really nice day today. It is going to be a little warmer but bright from start to finish with mostly sunny skies. Today's high, 88. We're partly cloudy, kind of stuffy overnight. We might have a few stray showers late tonight and into the overnight hours. Low down to 69. Partly cloudy with some scattered showers in the morning. Wednesday, the rest of the day is just dry and muggy, a high of 86. Thursday, partly cloudy skies with a pop-up afternoon storm possible with highs to the mid to the upper 80s.
That is Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Marcus, thank you. 64 degrees. The man wasn't lying. In the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, the time is 6:07. So you now have 4 kids facing criminal charges in these shootings that took place over the weekend. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. A 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 13-year-old. And there's also a 17-year-old being charged as an adult, not the others. The reporting at WIBC.com. Theft of a firearm, possession of marijuana, dangerous possession of a firearm, resisting law enforcement. These are just some of the charges. Some of these are the same charge for each kid, some different depending on the kid. This has led the city county council to say, you know what we need to do? We need to have stronger curfews. Okay. Stronger curfews it is. Now, what's the enforcement mechanism behind those curfews? That is my way of saying there isn't one. So if the city county council now wants to say, well, we're not going to allow people downtown who are young people past 11 o'clock, they're more than welcome to do so. But without a mechanism to engage enforcement, I don't know how this works. Further, I will admit to you that I am not sure what's going to happen when the police go about arresting 7 kids and all of a sudden the community says, look what you're doing to our children. So when Krista Carlino leaves the Democratic caucus, as she has, Democrat member of the City County Council, she was the one who was upset with how everything went with the investigation to Joe Hogsett, although she was the one kind of leading that charge. And then she called for not only Hogsett to resign, but for Bob Bosley and Allie Brown, the president and vice president of the City County Council, to resign from their positions, their leadership positions. All that backfired, and then she's apologizing, and she's going to leave the committees but stay with the caucus, and now she's leaving the Democratic caucus. Now she's leaving the caucus. Then there was a motion from the communist, Jesse Brown, for Vop Bosley and Allie Brown to step down from their positions. Only 4 votes. only 4 votes to do that. So everybody in Indianapolis is fine with everything that is happening right now. I shouldn't say everybody. Far too many people, much better. It was Carlino who was part of that group that wanted the oversight of police to be different in order to be able to have more ability to come down on police, thwart police, stop police, or fire police. So now we go back to these kids running amok because parents aren't doing their job in large measure, and culturally we have an epic level of failure. And we ask what the enforcement mechanism is when a parent doesn't say to their 13-year-old, no, you can't just be hanging around downtown till 4 a.m. What happens to the kid? What happens to the parent? You don't have an answer for that question. And it could be something that the council is not capable of putting forth. This may have to come from the state. I'm not sure of the answer there. I'm trying to get it. But when the police actually go about disrupting the violence and a 14-year-old gets hurt, everyone's going to come down on the cops, right? That's going to be the plan. Krista Carlino, you're still a member of the council. You going to be there for the police? Will the Republicans, who have been still rather silent, will defund the police adjacent Jesse Brown? Communists are in favor of defund the police, so maybe that's more assumption. But pretty sure I'm on top of that one. This is what Indianapolis has wrought, and now when the issues must be dealt with, there's no capacity to do so. I mean, this is a great part of the story. When I say great, I mean awful. This is what Indianapolis voted for, and when the moment comes, they don't have a plan. They have a lot of sloganeering. They have a lot of standing on, I have no idea if they actually think it's virtue, but no actual plan. Which brings us to our mayor. Because you can't say no actual plan and not say Joe Hogsett. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning.
This is Gary Dick, a new way of doing business in Bloomington at 632. Nominations are now open for IBJ's Women of Influence Awards. Submit your nomination by August 1st at IBJ.com. Then join us in October to honor the class of 2025.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749.
Applied Innovation customer Alicia Staley, office manager for McEnany Roofing, has reduced dependency on paper with a document management solution from Applied Innovation.
So it makes looking for documents pretty much effortless.
With this paperless solution and improved workflow, you recommend Applied Innovation?
Oh yes, I like to talk to a lot of different people. I'm the social butterfly, so as much as I can spread how wonderful they are, I definitely do. And I've never had such prompt customer service and care like this with any other company.
Your slogan, Innovative Solution Since 1985, is perfect for your Applied Innovation partnership.
There's a lot of benefits. I have to say, number one, definitely a great partnership. Two, financial-wise, we have saved a lot of money by signing up with Applied Innovation.
Start your partnership and save money. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what are you doing?
What's happening, Tony? Check it out the southwest side, and we have Kentucky Avenue shut down between Maywood Road and the River Lane. This is because of a crash involving an SUV running into somebody and unlit part of Kentucky Avenue as well. So Kentucky Avenue shut down on the southwest side. We'll need to find another way. Watch out for fog. Could have some fog up until 9 a.m. And if you get into that, just keep the low beams on. Right now, beautiful sunrise here in downtown Indianapolis. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
Hi, this is Zach from Ingledow Tree Experts. When it comes to the health and beauty of your trees, trust Ingledow Tree Experts. Our certified arborists ensure your trees are trimmed, removed, and cared for with precision. Summer is the perfect time to schedule fall pruning. Call now for your free estimate and let us handle the hard work. 317-903-0102 or visit ingledowtreeexperts.com for more information. Ingledow Tree Experts, where your trees come first.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
At Kingdom Roofing Systems, they do more than just roofing. They believe in honoring those who've served. Kingdom Roofing Systems proudly participates in the Roof Deployment Project, which provides a brand new roof to a deserving U.S. veteran or active duty service member, absolutely free. You can help give back to those who have given so much. If you or someone you know has served, owns their home, and is in need of a new roof, apply today at kingdomroofingsystems.com/RDP. Kingdom Roofing Systems, building roofs, honoring heroes.
We need each other because every someone needs someone else.
We need each other because when we work together, we can do so much more.
We connect more children with what they need to grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And that's what Child Fund is all about.
Because when you make someone's world better, you make everyone's world better.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
Learn more at childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons, Chapman. AC tune-ups right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Teachers shape the future. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. And the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary. So to any person who has deliberately lied about these facts surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time, the administration's focus will be on giving the victims and their communities the support they deserve during these recovery efforts in this tragic time.
Politicizing tragedy has become the hallmark of, well, everybody. But to claim that services were gutted when they just weren't, every claim that came out was wrong. Every single one. The only conversation right now that's interesting is there something to the question of why were people camping in this area to begin with if flash floods are known to occur there? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. That seems like a legitimate question. If it's known to be a place of issue, there have been other flash floods before. Certainly we know that there were children killed back in 1987, I believe it was. Yes, these things do happen, and they're absolutely horrific. The question is, are they known to happen? Not something that any of us, I don't think experts in Kerr County, Texas, and the Guadalupe River have an understanding of or an answer to. It's an acceptable question. But on every level, the left screamed and yelled and tried to put everything out there they could. Trump's fault. And again, it fell flat. Now, it fell flat because we've gotten so much better at getting the data and disseminating the data. Which is why this story from Politico is so completely wrong. Which is not surprising since it's from Politico. The headline was, Democrats retreat on climate. It's one of the more disappointing turnabouts. Stung by the party's sweeping losses in November and desperate to win back working-class voters, the Democratic Party is in retreat on climate change. Nowhere is that retrenchment more jarring than the nation's most populous state, meaning California, a longtime bastion of progressive politics on the environment. This is absolutely a false premise. Now, they might have the right understanding of where Democrats are focusing. They could make that claim that Democrats think that these subjects might move the voter a little bit more here, there, and everywhere, although then you'd have to believe that Democrats even understand what the voter wants, and of course, they don't. Do not ever believe that Democrats are retreating on climate and climate change and global warming and control of you, etc. No. Taking away the electric stoves. There is no retreat from the progressive who is an ideologue, nay, a cultist. That doesn't happen. What has happened is that the people have said, yeah, we're not buying into that. No. We've heard everything you have to say. You're boring. And we're done. It doesn't have the effect. It doesn't have the punch. It doesn't have that certain joie de vivre. It doesn't relate, and it doesn't intimidate. That's the difference. The difference is not the progressive. The difference is you. And the story, as the headline and those opening paragraphs show, mislarge that really important concept. The progressive has not changed. They haven't changed. How do I know they haven't changed? Because they went judge shopping, as they are known to do. They didn't like the fact that Congress passed a law. Congress passed the one big beautiful bill. You don't have to like it. I didn't say that you liked it. I said they passed a law. And then here come the progressives to find a judge that will say, well, you can't stop funding to Planned Parenthood. People need their abortions. I'm sorry. I meant to say that people need their abortions. Oh, gosh. I meant people really need their abortions. Oh, jeepers. They need their health care. See what I did there? Producer Carl, was it subtle? I was going for subtle.
Very subtle.
I was going for just smooth. Just slipping that right in. Whoo! Right? Just slide right in. The judge, Indira Talwani, an Obama appointee, issuing a temporary restraining order against the law. directing the Department of Health and Human Services to take all steps necessary to ensure that Medicaid funding continues to be dispersed to Planned Parenthood. It lasts 14 days, does the order, and does not apply to any other abortion or health care providers. So you just have found a judge that wants to make sure that Planned Parenthood gets a little bit extra cash? It's the weirdest thing in the world. But it's a great example of what would make you think that people who are ideologues and idolaters, what would make you think they would retreat from anything? No, that's not what has happened. That's not what has happened at all. We also have Trump engaged in more tariffs. You've got somebody nominated for the Nobel Prize. I've got those stories. And to my farmers. Yeah, you saw this in the show sheet yesterday. I just didn't get to it. You're important. But it doesn't mean you get to break the law. I'll have that story coming up. Right now, Matt Bear has got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Construction zone on the south side is slowing down. Northbound 65, Raymond, up to the south split. And then Kentucky Avenue shut down between Maywood and the River Lane. That's because somebody got hit by a car earlier this morning. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob. Be sure to join us Tuesday. Bruce Schumacher, Vice President of Corporate Affairs for the Indianapolis Indians, will be with us to talk about baseball in the Circle City. We'll see you 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm a proud owner of B-Window.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B-Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local. Trust employee-owned. Trust your home to be.
Trust me. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level.
on the go.
More than 100 people are dead. Your radar is clear. It's 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 88 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. Flooding in Texas has killed more than 100 people, including dozens of children at a summer camp.
Search and rescue is still very active all the way until the sun went down yesterday. Crews combing the sides of the devastated Guadalupe River looking for survivors and maybe a miracle. And yet recovery does continue on the edges of this as huge machinery is being brought in to excavate mud and trees.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Kerrville, Texas. That's in central Texas. President Trump says he plans to visit the state on Friday. Since several kids in Indianapolis are now facing charges after the mass shooting July 5th in downtown, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears had this to say.
The one thing that I would point out to everybody who's saying, "Well, throw the max or throw the book at all of these kids," dangerous possession of a firearm, which is a kid having a firearm who's less than 18 years of age, the maximum penalty is 1 year.
Yeah, and he says that's why they're looking into seeing how adults are using kids to manipulate the system in their favor. The TSA is reportedly dropping its shoe policy.
The Transportation Security Administration is reportedly getting rid of one of the most despised airport screening rituals, removing your shoes. The travel newsletter Gate Access cites a TSA memo that says starting Sunday, the agency will allow passengers to keep their shoes on while going through general security lines at many major airports. The safety check was put in place nearly 20 years ago, several years after Richard Reed, later known as the shoe bomber, attempted to detonate an explosive hidden in a shoe on a flight from Paris to Miami.
And that's Fox's Carmen Roberts reporting. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. A major project Bloomington leaders previously billed as a once-in-a-century chance to bring in significant affordable housing is at a standstill. But the city wants to use the setback as a chance to revamp its entire philosophy around development. Last week, the city's redevelopment commission rejected 2 bids for the Hopewell neighborhood project, and the city is now changing course and will pay a consultant to facilitate a process where multiple builders will take part in the Hopewell project instead of a single developer. Bloomington Mayor Carrie Thompson.
We're really proposing to use Hopewell as a guinea pig for how can we get things moving quickly, and how can the city learn from its own red tape what we could possibly remove to accelerate this timeline.
A pair of Indiana-based companies is included in Forbes' inaugural Accessibility 100 list. The Indiana representatives on the list include Agra Ability, a USDA-sponsored program that assists farmers, ranchers, and other ag workers with disabilities, based in West Lafayette. Carmel-based Braun Ability, a manufacturer of wheelchair-accessible vehicles, 4 installations created as part of the 2023 Exhibit Columbus exhibition, will be sticking around longer than originally planned. The Landmark Columbus Foundation says the installations are now here to stay after going from temporary urban design experiments to part of everyday living in Columbus. Exhibit Columbus was created to recognize the city's public art and architecture, as well as to convince people to take in the city's downtown spaces. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Do you own an import-export business? If so, your company could save time and money with foreign trade zones. FTZs are designated sites across the United States where you can reduce, defer, and even eliminate import duties, helping you stay competitive in the global marketplace. If you're interested in becoming an FTZ, the Indianapolis Airport Authority can sponsor your application and start you on the path to savings, because smart companies get in the zone. Learn more at inzone.org.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. Mishawaka-based Franciscan Alliance has made a series of executive appointments, including Dr. Gerald Maloney as Chief Medical Officer. Also, Tim Murphy has been named Vice President of Strategy. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, Gary, looking at the southwest side, Kentucky Avenue remains closed between Maywood Road and the River Lane. That's because of a fatal crash from earlier this morning. Somebody was hit by a car on an unlit part of Kentucky Avenue. So please be careful in that area today. If you would, please, there are going to be investigators out there as well. Looking at southbound 6570, construction delay from Washington to the south split at northbound 65 saying slow after South Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 6:36. Let's check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's happening?
Tony, good morning. Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton's going to miss the entire season with an Achilles. We may have known that, but it was confirmed by the team Monday. Kevin Pritchard, added to the rest of the team, is still eyeing another finals run.
I think you get very hungry to do it again and be playing at the highest level. This community, what they did, our fans were incredible.
And Pritchard said the competitive spirit of the team is going to be at a high level. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has been sidelined with a groin injury, but head coach Stephanie White says she took full part in 5-on-5 drills on Monday.
The same structure, I would say, return to play structure as we have been. It's like she gets to do a little bit more, and then we see tomorrow, is there progress or is there any regression? How does she feel? How does she look?
And the Fever play at noon against Golden State at home tomorrow. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. There are 48 million unpaid family caregivers in the United States. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to access a free guide to help navigate your caregiving journey.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
In a world of just terrible news, constantly, consistently awful, I now bring you the good news because I care. Ladies and gentlemen, you can leave your shoes on.
Yes! 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 Yes!
The change is coming to a little something called the TSA. And according to the sources, 20 years past the lowlife Richard Reed, you will not have to take off your shoes to get on an airplane. Now you say to me, Tony, I've got TSA PreCheck. I never had to take off my shoes. Listen carefully. TSA PreCheck was always wrong. The idea that you pay for your rights is obscene. And that's what TSA PreCheck was. We'll treat you all like animals, like your cattle. But if you give us a little bit of money, we'll treat you like nicer cattle. It was the people bribing the government for rights. It has always been despicable, always been awful, always been obscene, always been horrific, and I think the people who participated in it were wrong. And you know what they say to me? I didn't have to take off my shoes. I don't actually care. Oh, I hear them loud and clear. Doesn't change reality. Gross stuff. Getting rid of this, changing this terrible policy, a very, very good idea. But we should be going a step further, and we should be putting an end to the TSA. Privatize the security. No more of this. We don't need this. We don't want it. We deserve better than this. TSA doesn't work. Security works. Not arguing against security. I said TSA doesn't work because it doesn't. So let's stop pretending that it does. Let's stop pretending that we take a blue glove and we stick our hand down the belt line of an 85-year-old who has to struggle up out of a wheelchair in order to get frisked and say, well, we're doing a great job with security. No. We're doing a great job at abusing our own citizenry. And again, I oppose it. So, nice step in the right direction. But Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary, we have to get rid of this. And I'll debate that any day of the week. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. A little bit of a reprieve this morning, but it ain't going to last. The humidity is here. The heat is here. We are in the middle of summer, and your AC unit cannot keep up. That's why you need Masters Heating and Cooling. That's why you should be taking advantage of getting $1,000 off a new AC system. We're talking about a full system replacement here. They take care of everything. They can take care of your hot water heater with promotions of $100 off electric, $250 off hybrid, or $500 off tankless systems, and 0% financing for up to 60 months with qualified system purchases. Terms and conditions for all offers. Restrictions apply. Call for details. The offer will end. So talk to Masters Heating and Cooling today. They do great work. They've done great work for me. My house has been cool and comfortable all summer long. And they have 24-hour emergency services in case there's an issue. Masters Heating and Cooling. Talk to David, the general manager, and the whole team, and get yourself taken care of properly. 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Masters Heating and Cooling, 567-9505, or online at mastersindy.com. That's mastersindy.com.
Another update is just minutes away.
President Trump is threatening an extra import tax.
Higher tariffs as early as August 1st.
I think we'll have most countries done by July 9th. Yeah.
Flash flooding in central Texas.
Frantic search.
Hear the news.
Driving in the wrong direction, killing at least one person, all eastbound lanes.
As events happen,
5 people shot.
We'll happen to be there.
14-year-old boy jumped off a boat, rescued to recovery, likely drowned.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminar Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd, Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Traffic on the 5s, Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
All right, construction zone on the south side is slow. It gets down, Tony. It's northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic before Keystone Avenue up to the south split. And southbound 65 is 70 has it bad right now for the north split down to Fletcher Avenue. That's stop-and-go traffic. Westbound 70 a little slow into the north split, then tight over the flyover ramp out to Meridian Penn. And on the southwest side, Kentucky Avenue closed right now between Maywood Road and the River Lane because of a crash from earlier this morning. Somebody got hit by a car. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
It's Andy Moore's Summer Tent Sale in Avon. 4 days only, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. You'll find more savings, more selection, more than 1,000 used cars priced to move, plus our lowest lease deals of the summer. Shop Andy Moore, Avon, Nissan, Kia, Toyota, and Volkswagen, all packed under one tent on Rockville Road, East US Highway 36. Get more for your money, only at Andy Moore Avon and online at andymore.com.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, save an extra 25% off all in-stock outdoor furniture. Sleep up to 10 degrees cooler and the lowest price guaranteed on every mattress. And save up to 50% off Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, and lift chairs. Plus, we pay your sales tax and deliver it all for free. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Every day over at TonyKatz.com, when I remember, we put up the show sheet. I have for years. Hey, here's everything I think that's going to work for the show, and I write it down. I used to just send it out to a couple people at the station. Producer Carl gets a copy every morning, and I post it over at TonyKatz.com. I am Tony Katz. The show is called Tony Katz in the Morning News, and producer Carl's behind the board, and Matt Bear's in the WIBC Traffic Center. Ryan Hedrick is in the newsroom. One of the stories, and we had gotten to this before even I went on that little quasi-vacation thing last week, is that I am not in the business of protecting the farmer like this. If you ask me what I think of a whole series of pieces of legislation regarding farming, I could have different opinions. We could agree, all of that. When it comes to illegal immigrants working on farms, I only have one opinion: they have to go. That is it. And working on a farm does not give them any special protections. If you're here illegally, you're here illegally. And if you're hiring people who are here illegally, well, then you have to deal with the consequences of that no matter what business you're in. This was President Trump the other day.
Have a country to run, and we want to have them come in, and we want to have them help our farmers. You know, you probably saw I got myself into a little trouble because I said, I don't want to take people away from the farmers. And we're going to do something I think that's going to be good, because we want all the criminals out. Everybody agrees that we're finding the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers. We're getting them the hell out of here. But the farmers, some of the farmers, many of you sitting right here, I have 4 friends right in the 5th row. But some of the farmers, you know, they've had people working for them for years. And we're going to do something. We're working with Christie And we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge.
No. I accept the fact that there can be people unhappy with me. I can accept the fact that there are people angry with me. I am 1,000% in favor of finding ways to bring people in legally and have them work. I have done stories about this. I have done video series with Americans for Prosperity on this subject, on this station, on this show. But just because you're a farmer, you get to hire illegal immigrants and they get to stay? Absolutely not. No. And the president's wrong, and I would tell him so, and that's the end of the ball game. We're not going to do this to each other. We're not going to have this society. Again, it's everything is back to Animal Farm. All the animals are equal, but some more equal than others. Right now, there's somebody who is here legally working as a mechanic. They're probably very good. And they're going to get deported because that's the way it goes. That's it. That's the story. The violation of the law is the story. The following of the law matters. Well, Tony, we're going to get rid of all these people and then you're going to pay more for lettuce. Maybe. And I was ready to pay more for lettuce anyway. If your argument is we can't afford to deport these people, congratulations, you're now on the Democratic side of the aisle. It's an unserious and untenable position. Yes, it's going to create a level of hardship. I do not disagree. What happened to all the people telling me, my gosh, there are so many Americans who can take these jobs. We don't need this competition. Well, let's go. How about the people who want to tell me, well, they're not taking that many jobs to begin with? Well, then what's the issue? Oh, I've heard every conversation under the sun. I have no idea how local farms will be affected. What I can tell you is once you start having subsets, it's absolute failure. On Twitter X, can't you offer work permitting for migrant farm workers? Absolutely 10,000% when you come into the country legally. We're now going to retroactively make these things happen. What happened to their law breaking? It's forgiven. If it is indeed forgiven, what laws that are being broken are forgiven? Because I want tax evasion forgiven. I'm just saying I want a little something. Or do I only get that deal if I'm working on a farm? I didn't say we couldn't let people in legally and do this. Of course. And again, since I've got a history of it, I'm in favor of it. I'm in favor of recognizing a need and then fulfilling that need in a proper way where everybody knows the rules and we don't somehow give credit for people who are violating the rules all these years. That seems nutty. That's just wrong. And no, I'm not in favor of it. And I'm going to get told, you don't care about the farmer. You don't understand we need the food. I understand just fine. If we don't have a system, we don't have anything. And if we have a system where, well, if you're in certain jobs, you're special, well, that's a problem too. I'm happy to debate this anywhere. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
South side, northbound 65, stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue into the south split because of construction. We have a road closed on the southwest side. It's Kentucky Avenue between Maywood Road and the River Lane. IMPD saying a woman was hit by a car and died. walking on an unlit part of Kentucky Avenue. So Kentucky's still shut down between May Road and the River Lane, so please be careful in that area. Looking at northbound 65 coming out of the north split, that stop-and-go traffic over the flyover ramp to Meridian Penn. Inbound 65 slow from 21st down to West Street. A reminder, and last night was the first night of this, road construction on West Street running from 11th down to Morse, so that downtown portion of West becomes one lane 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day through September. Okay, so this construction starts at 6 p.m. towards the end of evening rush. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Makes summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Hi, this is Phoebe, and at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot, knee, hip, and back pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet Arch Support System.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So, did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me, and good movement starts with the feet.
We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome. Helping people live pain-free, 2 feet at a time.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. You've been trying to stay cool during the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, that might be hard to do. If the summer heat is seeping into your home and your utility bills keep rising, your windows could be the culprit. Save yourself from another month of discomfort by replacing your windows today with Window Nation. Right now, you can get 50% off all windows, plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. You heard that right. When you choose Window Nation to replace your windows, you won't pay any interest until 2030. Details at windownation.com.
And did I mention they'll get the job done in 1 day or less? Their installation crews have over a decade of experience, so you can feel comfortable knowing your windows are installed right the first time. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to procrastinate another day if I found a window company this good. Do not miss out on Window Nation's biggest deal of the year. 50% off all window styles right now. And remember, that comes with 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
The Hendricks County 4-H Fair is back July 13th through the 19th in Danville. A state fair experience at county fair prices. Catch all the action with the truck and tractor pull, lawn and garden tractor pull, the championship rodeo, and the always wild demolition derby. Plus rides, games, and more at the Greatest Midway, brought to you by Drew Expositions. Get your discount tickets now at 4hcomplex.org. The Hendricks County 4-H Fair, July 13th through 19th. A state fair experience at county fair prices.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, why the Marion County Coroner's Office was called to the southwest side of Indianapolis this morning, what the Marion County Prosecutor is saying about downtown violence, and what the Indiana Pacers are saying about Tyrese Halliburton's injury after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis at 7 o'clock.
Day 5 of a search and rescue operation in Texas. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. At least 104 deaths are confirmed in flash flooding in central Texas.
All the way until the sun went down yesterday, crews combing the sides of the devastated Guadalupe River looking for survivors and maybe a miracle. And yet recovery does continue on the edges of this as huge machinery is being brought in to excavate mud and trees. In the meantime, aid groups are on the ground and volunteers and residents who are reeling.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Kerrville, Texas. President Trump, during a meeting with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu at the White House, says he thinks talks to end the war in Gaza are going along very well. Netanyahu says he's nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts in the Middle East. 5 Israeli soldiers, meantime, are killed in a roadside bombing in Gaza.
The soldiers died when explosives detonated during an operation in the Beit Hanun area of northern Gaza. It's a part of the territory where Israeli forces have battled Hamas time and again. 888 Israeli service personnel have now died since the war began in late 2023.
It's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Elon Musk's spoken about plans for a new political party with former Democratic Party presidential candidate and New York City mayoral candidate Andrew Yang.
Yang co-founded the Forward Party in 2021. A source familiar with the conversation said that the two discussed Musk's push to create the America Party, which Musk aims to field some candidates in next year's midterm elections. Yang telling Fox News he is excited for anyone who wants to move on from the duopoly. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
2 crew members are reported killed in a Houthi rebel attack on a Greek-operated cargo ship off the coast of Yemen, the first deaths in those attacks in more than a year. Another cargo ship sank on Sunday. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A domestic call ends in a shooting. Your radar is clear. It's 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 88 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Michelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 7:02. State police say they are looking into a shooting that involved Greenfield police last night, a shooting that ended with a man being killed. Officers said they were called to a home along Sedgwick Street or Sedgwick Lane near South Street and Tague Streets. And according to police, the situation escalated and a man was killed. He died at the hospital. In a Facebook post, Greenfield police said that their officers were involved and now they're on administrative leave while state police look into this. A woman died this morning after she was hit by a car on Indianapolis' southwest side along Kentucky Avenue. Police were called to the scene about 3 o'clock. They found the woman unconscious in the road. She was taken to the hospital. She later died from her injuries, and the police said that the driver that hit her stayed at the scene and showed no signs of impairment. At the Indianapolis City County Council meeting last night.
We can't do it alone. The IMPD don't have the capacity to do it. Juveniles don't have the capacity to do it. We need about hundreds of people to help support this.
Democrat Leroy Robinson, who chairs the City County Council's Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, introduced a proposal Monday night to change the city's youth curfew laws. His plan would allow teenagers 15 to 17 to be off the streets 2 hours earlier than the state law currently allows. When teenagers commit acts of violence, they have recently been held accountable. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears says he's looking into what parents may have known regarding their kids' behavior.
And so I know that IMPE is looking into those things, and if IMPE brings us a case where a parent knew or should have known and we're in a position to charge that individual, we will certainly do it.
Mears says cases like this are complicated because they're hard to get done and hard to prove that the parents knew the kids were committing violence. Indiana Pacers general manager Kevin Pritchard said Monday that Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire season. John Herrick reports
on what else he had to say.
Pritchard said this is the time for Halliburton to heal from his torn Achilles injury while offering advice to his teammates and coaches from the sideline.
And I've joked with him, he's just going to have to be my general manager for the next couple of years, which will be a lot better than Chad.
Pritchard talking about Pacers general manager Chad Buchanan there while laughing. He believes Halliburton will be back and better than ever, and this season with Halliburton out, this will give other players the chance to grow. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Check it out. Northbound 65 on the south side. Stop and go because of construction. South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. And yes, Kentucky Avenue still closed between Maywood Road and the River Lane because of a fatal crash from earlier this morning. Somebody got hit by a car. Southbound 65 stop and go. 21st to Meridian Penn. Westbound 70 slow over the flyover in the north split to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus, July 9th through the 12th, now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Hey, good morning. You step out the door and it feels so much more comfortable into the morning hours. The humidity values have dropped a little bit. I think we'll see mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy conditions later this afternoon. Humidity values still not terrible. We'll look for highs, though, into the upper 80s, so it is going to be a bit warmer than what we had yesterday. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Just a slight chance of a shower overnight. We'll look for a little bit more mild and muggy conditions out there with lows falling to 69. On Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm with highs in the mid-80s and mid-80s once again on Thursday, partly cloudy, an afternoon shower or thunderstorm possible.
That is Tara Hastings right there of Wish TV. Thank you, Tara. 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:06. So it's a curfew. Okay. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this now. If you tell me that you need a curfew in place to better deal with the amount of kids coming to downtown and engaged in acts of violence or could be engaged in acts of violence, and you need to make sure these 15-year-olds are off the streets, I won't tell you no. I'll ask you, how was this not an issue 6 months ago? The reaction to the killings that took place, you now have 4 kids facing criminal charges in these shootings downtown. You can catch the interview with the county prosecutor, Ryan Mears, at WIBC.com. Me, I'm Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be with you. You have 4 different kids being charged with either theft of a firearm, possession of marijuana, dangerous possession of a firearm, resisting law enforcement. There's a whole series of things going on. If the answer is the curfew, well, then why wasn't the curfew set X number of days, weeks, months, years ago? No one believes that this is the answer. This is a reaction from a reactionary council. That's what we have here. This is once again an example of no leadership, but rather all a reaction to what is happening. Now, maybe some of us are just thrilled that there's a level of reaction, that they're actually aware that there may be a problem. But where do you see the follow-up to this concept, to this idea? Where do you see the strong level of statement? The only thing we saw from Bob Osley, the president of the Indianapolis City County Council, in dealing with these murders over the weekend where children are being killed, is, well, you know, these parents are stretched thin, and it really takes a village. It ain't our fault. That's weird. And that is a kind of cultural move and maneuver there that is valueless. And of course, I don't think that Bob Bosley is capable of running the city county council. I don't think Allie Brown is capable of being the vice president of this council. They offer no leadership. None. They have no vision and no conviction. Except, of course, to a progressive ideology, which isn't doing any of us any good. So you now have this curfew that you want to put forward. Again, not going to argue the curfew. I'm only going to argue its efficacy because it is not dealing with the larger scale issue, which is why parents are allowing their 14-year-old to be in downtown Indianapolis at 2 a.m. And there is not enough talk about them. And yes, their failures. Parents in Indianapolis have to pick it up. And I've had people back and forth with me because they can't accept the fact that when I have these conversations, why won't you just say, Tony, that the problem is black culture? Because it's not actually black culture, because I don't even think that's a thing. Culture is a thing. But if you want to discuss how people act and the ways they act, why they're acting, how things are, I will tell you it's liberal culture. I will tell you that it is mindset, not color set. I'll debate this gladly. Gladly. There is elitism at play. There is ego at play. There is groups of people who've been told that they're special and no one can say anything about them. And if anybody does, you just scream racist or you scream bigot or whatever. I'm not interested in what anybody in Indianapolis screams. I'm interested in what's going on. Parents aren't doing a good enough job. Adults aren't doing a good enough job. Grown-ups aren't doing a good enough job. Families aren't doing a good enough job. Maybe when you try and decimate the family, bad things happen. And maybe when you tell families, don't worry, you're not responsible, somebody else is, for all of the ills in your life, you're not doing people well. And these things catch up with us. They just do. We see it with our own eyes. Now, someone wants to tell me, no, Tony, it's 100% because of color of skin. You go to that. All I know is all the Karens are white. And man, are they super annoying. But it's all the same thing. It's all based on the elitism. It's all based on how dare you tell me I know best and all the rest. If you're letting your 13-year-olds hang out in downtown Indianapolis, you don't know where they are, and they're not home till 3, 4 in the morning, you're not doing a good job as a parent. We need leadership that says so. Now, there could be a tremendous number of extenuating circumstances, but let's start with the basics. The parenting needs to get better. The family needs to get better. The focus needs to get better. And there is no value to any culture that says, go start a fight, go grab a gun, find somebody who's upset you, decide to have a beef, and shoot somebody. There's no value there. Parents who won't say that are parents who are going to have a real hard time wondering every night, did my kid come home tonight? So curfews, great. But we're still not getting to the issue. And we still don't have a civic leader or an elected leader willing to get into it deep. Thank goodness for WIBC, huh? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Hey, just a heads up. The Social Security Administration just announced they're now projected to run out of money 1 year earlier than expected. Your benefits could be cut by as much as 23%, and the average person could lose more than $100,000 in lifetime income. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
So, if you've saved more than $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. Just call 317-648-5120. This is not some off-the-shelf report. This is a customized analysis that could help you get every penny out of your Social Security. And it's free. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do your goals. At Busey Bank, we're here to help you move forward with the financial tools, local support, and expert guidance you need to take your next step. Whether you're growing a business, leaving a legacy, or saving for the future, you'll have a team that's ready when you are. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic Center. What's happening?
All right, Tony, looking at the southwest side, Kentucky Avenue still shut down between Maywood Road and the River Lane. That is because of a fatal crash from earlier this morning. A woman got hit by a car. South side, northbound 65, stop and go traffic. 465 up to the south split. Northbound 65 slow through the flyover ramp out to Meridian Bend. Southbound 65 slows 21st to west. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Got one of those days that never stops. Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh to 5 with 69 cents large big gulp drinks. Speedy rewards are required, valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Gearing up for the popcorn moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling, BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com. Your kitchen, your bathroom, that basement where you can actually watch a movie and eat popcorn. Home theater. Why can't you have a home theater? What? Well, that's for somebody else. That's ridiculous. That's silly. You have got a basement that you've never actually turned into part of the home. You've used it as a dumping ground. You don't have to. Boer is there to help. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen. We're talking about the highest quality brand names you know and trust. And Boer guides you through the entire process, starting with that free initial consultation. They walk you through it. You know what's happening every step of the way. They take the stress out of the home renovation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. So yeah, that home theater is very, very possible. Or that kitchen that has more countertop space or more storage space, or more has the place to highlight that collection that you have and you always want to show it off. Well, they can take care of that. They can take your ideas and turn them into reality. You don't have to have this kitchen that doesn't work for your family. You can create value for your life right now with Boer. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling. 852-5546. Or online at Boer. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe, and grab your popcorn because there is more. I'm vacillating. I'm going between two very, very different stories here. And I'll number one or number two, Matt Bear. Am I going number one or am I going number two? Number one or number two? Which one am I going? All right. Right. No, it's not what I meant, producer Carl. Which one do you want to hear, Carl? Because I don't know where Matt is. Number one or number two? Which story do you want to hear?
I already told you through the hotkey.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't know what you said. I have no. So I'll just do the starting one here, which is we stated yesterday that now the one big beautiful bill has been signed into law. President Trump has to find something else. He has to find something else that he can work on. This is passed. Understanding him, it's like, all right, what's next? Right? What else are we on to? Well, he's having a meeting yesterday with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel.
I'm stopping wars. And I hate to see people killed. Like, as an example, Ukraine and Russia. They're not Americans they're being killed. They're not Israelis that are being killed. These are all Russians and all Ukrainians. But it's 5,000, maybe 7,000. You know, they have parents and they have sisters and brothers and getting married. And who knows? They're just people. But they're souls, and if I can stop a war, because I have an ability to do so, I'm disappointed, frankly, that President Putin hasn't stopped. I'm not happy about it either.
So he takes this really about face and now says we're sending more weapons to Ukraine.
For more than 20 years. Can you imagine? Yeah.
On Ukraine, Mr. President, are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard. So many people are dying in that mess.
Now, if you again, it's not because we're smarter. It's because we're more honest. If I go back to the show sheet from yesterday, which you can find at TonyKatz.com, I had a story that Trump talks to Zelensky after a bad call with Vladimir Putin. I wrote a note. And it reads, if you want things to end, it will only come with weapons that are used. That's where we're at. Now Trump has to decide whether he wants that. That was the note I wrote for yesterday's show. I didn't even get to the story. Here we are. It was President Trump holding up arms just a couple of days ago. You go back to the story of July 3rd. A week later, here you go. It's got to be disappointing for the president when the thing doesn't work as you thought it would. And what I would like to see from President Trump, he doesn't have to say it out loud. I'd like to see it through a recognition in action. And maybe that's what I'm seeing. That this whole line that the war never would have started if I was president, that line doesn't matter anymore. That was a line for the election. We're now in the governing, right? You campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. We're now in the governing. What's the plan? Because as you have seen, sir, Vladimir Putin isn't interested in your thought on anything. And yes, that can be seen as offensive and rude and problematic and shameful and all of that. What's the plan? Now, allow me, because you and I, guys, may disagree about this. It's very possible that his plan is to do nothing. I tried. It goes on and lives his life. I did not say he had to send weapons. I am not saying he has to do anything. He could have decided, hey, I gave it my best shot. But it is obvious that that is not his want. And I am curious where MAGAville is going to land on this, because it is the same concept as for Forever War. It didn't end, and it's not going to end. It's not going to end until Russia feels they can't throw another body at it. And if the United States is getting involved, that means that they have less chances to get this done, or they have to ratchet things up. Now, United States involvement could just be the hardware, which is what I have always supported. If indeed we do have a mineral rights deal, it's going to lead to us being on the ground. That's going to mean we're going to have soldiers on the ground because you're going to protect the assets that we now put there. That's what I meant. If we're going to be on the ground, meaning assets on the ground, meaning businesses and investments, we're going to protect that, which gives the Russians a whole nother reason to pause or be concerned. So I still haven't seen, I mean, we've talked about the mineral rights deal. I haven't seen how it plays out. But it's very obvious Trump wants to try. He's desperate for this to be over because in his head he hates it so much. And I think that is very true. That is a consistent theme about the man. But he can't get it to end. And I'm wondering, as I wrote in the note the other day, I'm wondering if this is dawning on him now to the point of this action. And if this action is just a one-off, all right, now we'll see what they do. Or if this is going to be a continued level of maneuvering and a new White House, nay, American posture. We support Ukraine. You don't think that could happen? Right now, I think that's the only thing that's going to happen. Matt Bear has got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
All right, Kentucky Avenue has reopened on the southwest side from a fatal crash earlier this morning. Southbound 65 slow 29th down to Meridian Penn, and westbound 70 slow over the north split flyover ramp to Meridian Penn. Northbound 65 stop and go after South Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of construction. Inbound 69 slowing down 106th Street 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel Show, 3 o'clock this afternoon, the biggest stories in Indy. Plus, Jeff Boggs will join us, and we'll play a round of bare naked ladies or symptoms of rabies. 93 WIBC.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Jim Schrader, IT Director for Lakota and SMC Trailers and Viaggio Pontoon Boats, has a solid reason for selecting Applied Innovation.
With companies, the bottom line comes to dollars and cents. It really does. And when we consolidated all our printing needs with Applied, we got rid of all these onesies, twosies desktops that we were having to take care of and got the big MFPs and strategically placed them.
And with the Applied Innovation Printing Solution,
we're saving about $25,000 a year between the three companies by doing that. And of course, everybody's like, oh, well, what if I need to print privately or this or that? You know, they've helped me set up private print, direct print, coded print, all that stuff.
You're sold on Applied Innovation.
If you're looking for great service, attentiveness, and a fantastic product, Applied is the place to go. Applied is Johnny on the spot, literally.
Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, business manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Trust employee owned. B-Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
The Phone Ready quiz from the American Academy of Pediatrics will help you decide if you and your child are ready for their first phone. Go to healthychildren.org/phone ready quiz.
Overcoming drug addiction is difficult. The road to recovery is different for everyone. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The number of people killed in Texas flooding continues to go up. Your radar is clear at 64 degrees. In downtown Indianapolis, your high today, 88. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Search and rescue teams continue to search for victims of flash flooding in central Texas. More than 100 people are confirmed to have been killed.
It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. This guy had posted a video here on this river. It was about 5:30, and the water was already up to the road on Guadalupe Street. So there's no way anybody could have gotten out from the camp at that time.
That's Texan Richard Vela. Camp Mystic has reported 27 children and counselors have died because of the floods, though more are still missing. More heavy rain is in the forecast for the region. President Trump hosts Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House as efforts continue to secure a ceasefire and a hostage deal with Gaza.
President Trump reacting to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, revealing he'd nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much.
The Israeli Prime Minister responding to a question about a two-state solution.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers should threaten us.
Revealing Israel and the U.S. are working to find countries to give Palestinians a better future. President Trump saying he hopes the war between Israel and Iran is over.
We have scheduled Iran talks, and they want to talk.
U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, revealing a meeting with Iran will take place in the next week or so.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin reporting. The Indiana Supreme Court has set an execution date for Roy Lee Ward. Ward was sentenced to death for the 2001 rape and murder of a 15-year-old. He's one of 6 men still on death row after Indiana ended its 15-year hiatus of capital punishment. When Sean Diddy Combs will be sentenced is up to anybody. As Fox's Tanya J. Powers report, the answer could come during a hearing today.
The judge overseeing the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has proposed a sentencing date for October, but Combs' lawyers are asking for it to be done sooner. That's expected to be discussed during today's virtual hearing. Defense attorneys are making the argument that Combs' sentence should be 21 to 27 months, on the low end of the sentencing guidelines, but federal prosecutors are aiming at a longer time frame of 51 to 63 months. The judge denied Combs' bail request after the jury returned a verdict of guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Jurors acquitted him of the more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Pacers president Kevin Pritchard said he found out Miles Turner was headed to the Milwaukee Bucks just like you through social media.
Herb Simon and Stephen Rails and the Simon family
we're fully prepared to go deep into the tax to keep him. And we really wanted to do that. And we were negotiating in good faith.
And Pritchard said Turner, as a free agent, had every right to pick the Bucs as it was best for his family. He also confirmed Monday that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the season with an Achilles injury. The Indiana Fever had 3 All-Stars on the team this year, and with the game set to take place in Indy on July 19th, head coach Stephanie White said Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell have fully stepped into their roles.
Those 3 have been pillars. They've done an outstanding job, and, I'm proud of all of them. They continue to get better. They continue to embrace the impact that they have on this organization, on this team, while continuing to be hungry for more.
And the Fever hosts the Golden State Valkyries at noon tomorrow. Major League Baseball, the Miami Marlins beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-1. The Cubs open up a series on the road against Minnesota tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go. And at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at the south side, northbound 65, stop and go traffic from 465 to the south split because of construction. Westbound 70 slowing down from Emerson Avenue to the north split. Slow through the split over the flyover ramp to Meridian Penn. Inbound 65 slow roll 29th to West Street. Inbound at 69 stop and go traffic from 106th Street down to 465. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Whenever I'm out a-wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Where friendly folks can on the marketplace. That's a lot of sack. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, I'm clearing my head. I'm getting ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace, the Marketplace segment brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It is your cash. You should go get it. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. No, seriously, it's your money waiting for you. Text my name, Tony, to 46220. Text Tony to 46220 to get started. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. The marketplace has all sorts of stuff, cool stuff, odd stuff, weird stuff, strange stuff, interesting stuff. I bought stuff, I've sold stuff, I've done it all. And I find odd things and I bring them to you. And this Matt Baer, you can see Matt Baer on the live stream right there. He's in kind of like the half shadow. He wants you to know how mysterious he is. How mysterious he is.
Hello. So I was moving around for the camera. I forgot there was a delay there.
That's all right. Yeah. That's all right. Matt Baer,
no.
This right here is Crown Royal bags.
Yeah, they're really colorful. They're beautiful Crown Royal bags. They're pretty.
There is 140 Crown Royal bags in green, like a sand, the traditional, like purple, and orange. And you could have 140 sacks.
Yeah, a lot of sacks here, and they're healthy. They're nice. This is not my day. We used to collect stamps and video games. Now we collect Crown Royal bags, and I just don't understand the youth of today. I
140 Crown Royal sacks, not very wrinkled and easy to use. And so what you do is you have these Crown Royal sacks, and then you just put anything in your sack you want.
Yeah, you just stuff anything down in there depending on the size, and there are lots of things you can get. You can just carry your common everyday items like you can put a hairbrush in your sack, Tony.
If you wanted a hairbrush in your sack, this is the perfect sack to put your hairbrush in.
You can put a hair tie inside the sack. Or,
need a hair tie? Boom, goes next to the hairbrush. Boom, right in the sack.
Maybe a little bottle of Lubriderm.
If you need it.
Lubriderm.
You always have to make it weird, don't you?
Well, what's wrong with Lubriderm? It's a lotion. I like it. I'll Lubriderm myself. Thank you, Carl. I'll Lubriderm myself anytime, any day of the week, man.
So the point, I think the question here is, this is was listed 3 days ago in Knightstown. So I have no idea if this belongs to Terry Stacy or not.
Terry does collect things. She's really fun like this. So maybe this is hers. I don't know.
So the question is is first of all, why? Why do you have so much sack? And secondly, is this a person we need to do an intervention with and maybe help?
Boy, I don't know who was drinking the bottles of Crown Royal.
Right, we don't know what happened to the Crown Royal bottles.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery, you know.
We don't know what happened to the Crown Royal bottles. We do know that the sack remains.
It's a hell of a party, Tony.
Right? So basically, these sacks have now been emptied.
Yeah, they're empty sacks, and but you can use them for whatever you want. I mean, this is a free country. You can put whatever you want in your sack. And it's I'm not going to judge whatever items. You can put granola in there. Lots of granola. Fill it up.
Yeah, that's just gross. Come on. They're selling 140 of these Crown Royal sacks for $100.
Boy, I can't make that work in my head, Tony. I'm trying. I can't think of a single reason why I would need all this sack in my life.
Nope.
No.
I can't do the math. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them all. I have no idea how that's worth $100. No clue. None.
No, I'm really trying to figure out what you would use these for. I mean, you could use them for, I guess, summer gift bags at a day camp or something. Just put all the goodie bags and hand them out.
Yes, send your kid to camp with a Crown Royal sack.
Well, no, I was talking about the camp give out the Crown Royal sack. You know.
Oh, sure. To the kids.
Yeah, this would be like where you find the Happy Tommy fun bag. You know, you open it up and you get all the prizes from the camp. You just kind of peel it back and it's like, oh, look at this, a little goodie bag, you know. Like something you'd find on like a hotel bed if you're staying in a really swanky hotel like the Conrad or maybe the Coco.
So you go to the Conrad and they provide you a Crown Royal sack with no Crown Royal?
Listen, I think it's a good. I'm not saying they do it. My apologies to the Conrad. I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm saying it could. That's what I would do if I owned a hotel.
You would never get that at the Conrad. They might do that at the Sheraton, but they are never going to do that at the Conrad.
The Coco Motel.
Right? The Coco Motel.
Hot tub room only.
Wait, was this taken at the Coco Motel? Maybe. Maybe that's where this photo was taken.
It's a landmark.
Because they've got all these sacks laid out on the bed. It's a bed full of sack.
One room, 140 sack.
Right. So it's there for you at the Facebook Marketplace, and we've got it listed over at WIBC.com. I don't know what you're going to do with it. It's a tremendous amount of sack. I have no idea what you're going to do with it, but if you want it, it is there for you.
It's there.
Go sack up. It's the best I can do for you. Tony Katz, 93. And honestly, that was so Super Troopers meow. I don't even know what to say. Sometimes this show.
Great reference.
Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. The storms that come through, are you ready for them? Is your home prepared? And when they do come through, are you sure your home hasn't suffered any damage? You should be talking to Moss Roofing today. You should be talking to Moss immediately and have them check out your roof and make sure it is all good to go and ready to handle whatever it is the rest of summer brings and then what the winter brings. Moss Roofing, family owned right here in central Indiana for over 30 years. Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find, which is honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections. We're talking about a true, thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, your windows. And if there's storm damage, they're going to show you the photos. Here's what's going on. They're going to explain everything clearly. They'll take care of it, and they will even work with your insurance company for you. No stress from Moss Roofing. No pressure from Moss Roofing. Just real professionals at Moss Roofing doing the job right. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
It's hot out there. The weather's hot.
It's really hot.
But the headlines, they're even hotter.
Massive precision strikes.
This was about being clandestine and the nuclear capability of Iran.
The news of the day is heating up.
Things have gotten super hot out there.
Iran is run by homicidal maniac crazy people.
Stay cool.
Angry at the basketball gods.
Stay informed.
This isn't the way that it was supposed to go down.
Stay with 93 WIBC.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
Traffic on the fives. Matthew, Horatio, Ignatius, Bear, what are you doing?
Tony, about 65 stop-and-go traffic from the White River Bridge to West Street, 6-minute delay. Construction zone on the south side, and we are slow on northbound 65 from Edgewood to 465, then stop-and-go traffic before Keystone Avenue up to the south split. That is delayed by 6 minutes. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop-and-go 86th Street to 865. East side, westbound 70, slow into downtown from Emerson. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Well, we were at 64 degrees, which was kind of nice. Seeing things cool down a bit. We're up to 66 in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:46.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, an independent American Standard Platinum customer care dealer. Jim Scott is the owner, and he's ready to take his success into Boone and Hamilton counties.
We have a lot of high-quality equipment. We do high-quality jobs. We do our own duct fabrications. We have service contracts. So with the value that we built because of our 5-star rating, the other counties, as much growth as there is, there's just not enough contractors.
Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, 765-601-1461. Jim's is your trusted local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org. The Indianapolis Public Library. More than just books. Visit your local branch today.
Indy Humane. Find your new best friend today. Visit indyhumane.org.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh the vibe with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. Speedy Rewards app required. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Busy day? No problem. The WIBC Mashup podcast catches you up with standout moments from your favorite shows. Fresh episodes every weekday. One click, all the good stuff. Get your daily fix. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Join Hammer and Nigel this Saturday from 11 to 1 at the grand opening of the all-new Hubler Toyota, 8055 US 31 South. Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles, now available on all new Toyotas. Join Hammer and Nigel this Saturday.
Look through your children's eyes, and you will discover the true magic of a forest. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyour6.org.
We're going to have to turn that up there, Producer Carl. Oh, that's good.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs.
Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Donald Trump nominated for a Nobel Prize, or at least Netanyahu wants to nominate him for a Nobel Prize.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to express the appreciation and admiration not only of all Israelis, but of the Jewish people and many, many admirers around the world for your leadership of the free world, your leadership of a just cause, and the pursuit of peace and security, which you are leading in many lands, but now especially in the Middle East. We have great opportunities. The President has an extraordinary team, and I think our teams together make an extraordinary combination to meet challenges and seize opportunities. But the President has already realized great opportunities. He forged the Abraham Accords. He's forging peace as we speak in one country and one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved, and you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know.
I'm willing to bet he didn't know. Maybe he did. The idea that it's going to be given to the president is, of course, a bit of madness. In that's not the way awards that are not based on actions but rather based on ideology work. But the very idea that we see people objecting to the idea of the concepts to begin with. They objected to the idea that the United States should get involved and put an end to Iran and their nuclear capabilities. And if Iran still does have nuclear capabilities in Isfahan or Natanz or Fordow, let's bomb them again. And their nuclear capabilities. Let us be supportive of the Iranian people doing away with the mullahs and the Ayatollah. You want an actual peace prize, bring about an actual peace. Let's get more nations signing on to the Abraham Accords and changing the dynamic of how business is done in the Middle East. Let the left be the ones who are these gross impediments to better societies, to better tomorrows, to better thoughts, to different thoughts. They're the ones who are intransigent, and we should leave them behind. But the Nobel Prize is not coming to Donald Trump. I'm not saying it shouldn't. I'm saying it won't. And that is the story. Because giving that guy a win to the globalist, that's the heresy. That's the heresy. The UN is going to sit by those nations. They excoriate Israel for engaging a response to being attacked. They don't ever engage an excoriating of the attackers, Hamas. They still quote the Gaza Health Ministry as if it's a thing, as opposed to Hamas propaganda. And they hate us. We're not paying enough. We're not giving enough. We're not doing enough. Meanwhile, they tool around Manhattan, don't pay any speeding tickets or parking tickets, and have great real estate that maybe some of us would like to visit. It could be a park for all I know. Part of our problem is that we utilize these same old things and think that they matter. The Nobel Prize doesn't matter anymore. Let's go find a new prize. Let's go make one. Awards do matter. It's a very fascinating thing. But you can't get an award from people who aren't interested in what the award's supposed to mean and hate you more than they love what the award represents. We'll get more into it. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic.
Northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic before South Keystone Avenue into the South Split because of construction. Inbound 65 grinding before MLK down to West Street. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Right now with Dream Baths by B, get 2 bathroom remodels for the price of 1. Plus a free entry door in 24 months. Same as cash with 0 interest. Trust a local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Everyone is talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation. Like your neighbor Dennis.
I was in the process of refinishing my garage and, trying to turn it into a man cave. So I started searching, online, and I ran across Galaxy.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is not epoxy. It's better.
First thing I wanted to do initially is I wanted to repair where the concrete had eroded. They said they could do that. I said, well, heck, let me go ahead and get the entire floor covered.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
They were so courteous and respectful of the home and the property. And when they're done, they cleaned up, picked up, swept up. It was like they were never there.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
I would recommend Galaxy over any other competitor, hands down. You're going to be taken care of and you're going to be satisfied. These guys know what they're doing.
Sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
It's now open. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, right in front of Premier Arms on Green Street. You got to see the selection. Newly expanded, the gold, the diamonds, the silver, the gemstones, the local artists, and of course, that watch collection. Guys, you got to trust me on this one right here. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or find them online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis' leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Mike loves summer in Indy, but he hates to paint. So he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. And right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced years, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what police say happened that led officers to opening fire and killing a man in Greenfield. But Indianapolis City County Councilor is back in the news. A deeper look into how Indiana is expanding school choice. And we hear from Pacers President of Basketball Operations on Tyrese Halliburton's upcoming recovery. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
25 to 40%. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump announces 25% tariffs on imports from two big trading partners, Japan and South Korea, even higher for some others announced so far in letters sent to those countries' leaders, with more to come.
We're always subject to negotiate something that's fair, but we've talked to most of the countries, and pretty much they've had their way for many, many decades.
The tariffs are due to take effect August 1st. The president speaking there at the White House with Israel's prime minister. Trump says he thinks talks to end the war with Hamas and Gaza are going well.
President Trump reacting to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, revealing he'd nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much.
The Israeli Prime Minister responding to a question about a two-state solution.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers to threaten us.
Revealing Israel and the U.S. are working to find countries to give Palestinians a better future.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The sun is up for search teams going through debris from flash flooding in central Texas.
You have mangled trees, cars that were just thrown into the river, and just these chunks of debris that rescue teams have been sifting through, trying to find the dozens of victims that are still unaccounted for. The death toll right now has climbed to 104 people, including 28 children.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Kerr County, Texas. It's day 5 of that search. A group of doctors and public health organizations is suing Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over vaccine policy changes.
Calling it a public health emergency that demands immediate legal action and correction. The coalition that includes the American Academy of Pediatrics filed a lawsuit in federal court in Boston over the decision to stop recommending COVID-19 vaccinations for most children and pregnant women. The lawsuit alleges Robert F. Kennedy Jr. flouted federal procedures and misled the American public.
That's Fox's Stu Guzman. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
An officer-involved shooting turning fatal. Your radar, it's clear. It's partly cloudy, 65 in downtown Indianapolis. The high today is 86. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 8:02. A 54-year-old man is the one dead from a shooting involving officers in Greenfield. Police say it happened at a home overnight when a domestic situation they were responding to had escalated. No officers were injured in the shooting. Indiana State Police are now leading the investigation. Greenfield police say they followed standard procedure. With the mass shooting that occurred in downtown Indy early Saturday, there's now a curfew applied to try and stop more violence from happening across the city. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said in an interview with WIBC's Hammer and Nigel Monday that the curfew is not a criminal law.
How the courts look at that is that as a status offense, they will, if you get it into the what we used to call a juvenile center, which is now the youth services center, they will process them like they would. They'll try to call their parents. They'll look at their histories. Are they on probation? And then if their history is to a level that's bad, then the prosecutor can file a delinquent child charge or something similar to that.
4 people are facing several criminal charges after they opened fire that Saturday morning, killing 2 and injuring 5 others. A proposal from Leroy Robinson, who chairs the City County Council's Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, was introduced at last night's meeting to change the city's youth curfew hours, requiring those ages 15 to 17 to be off the streets 2 hours earlier than what state law says. Another Indianapolis City County councilor is back in the news.
I left the Democratic caucus of the Indianapolis Marion County City County Council. I will not be caucusing with either party for the foreseeable future, and I think that that's the best decision for me at this time.
Councilor Krista Carlino said her decision is based on a few reasons, including what she says is a lack of leadership, abuse of power, and an inequitable application of the caucus rules. She has faced criticism from others on council after she called for the resignation of Mayor Joe Hogsett and the removal of Council President Bob Bosley and Vice President Allie Brown. Indiana Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton will have to miss all of next season with his Achilles injury. Pacers president of basketball operations Kevin Pritchard said Monday that nothing can get in the way of Halliburton's rehab.
But the real work starts now in terms of rehab, and it's tough. When you take a player who loves basketball, Ty just doesn't love basketball. He talks about basketball. He is basketball.
Pritchard says Halliburton will often text him about basketball and players to watch from all across the country. Now with a check of traffic, good morning to Matt Bear.
What's happening, Jared? Looking at inbound 69, stop and go traffic 100 at 6th Street down to 82nd. That is a 7-minute delay. Westbound 70 slows Emerson Avenue to the north, split at southbound 65, 12-minute delay from the White River Bridge to West Street. Looking at northbound 65 slows from Edgewood Avenue up to 465, then stop and go traffic from South Keystone Avenue up to the south split, and that is an 8-minute delay. Inbound 69, 7 minutes from 106th Street to 82nd and northbound 465 on the northwest side. Slows 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus, July 9th through the 12th now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's going on?
Hey, good morning. A little bit more refreshing out there with lower humidity values this morning. We'll look for sunshine, partly cloudy skies into the afternoon. It is going to be a warm one with highs right around 88. Tonight, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of a shower overnight. Humidity values do increase, a mild and muggy with lows falling to 69. Mid-80s on Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, just a chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. And then much of the same on Thursday, partly cloudy, afternoon shower or storm with highs in the mid-80s.
That right there, quick and easy. Boom. Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. I appreciate it, Tara. Thank you. Go do your thing. 66 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:06. Curfew in Indianapolis. Seems like it's much more a show than it is serious. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. You have 4 teens charged in these weekend shootings. You now have the city county council saying we need a curfew, but there is no enforcement mechanism. None. So without that, what do we actually have? What is it that we're actually doing? And that, of course, is the whole story. We're not actually doing anything. It's once again Indianapolis not actually doing anything. And as for this vote last night, where you have Krista Carlino, the Democrat, leaving the Democratic caucus. You've got the communist Jesse Brown voting to dismiss Bob Bosley and Allie Brown from their leadership position. That did not work. That went down in flames. There's just simply no movement from the Democrats on the city county council to hold anybody responsible for anything. They don't hold Joe Hogsett responsible for his sexual impropriety and the hiring of people who engage in sexual impropriety. There's no holding responsible for this nonsense report from this law firm, Fisher Phillips, out of Chicago, that clearly dismissed, discounted, or flat out ignored testimony and statements from the women who were having the issues. And nobody wants to be held accountable. Nobody wants to hold anybody else accountable. That's Indianapolis. And the leadership outside of the elected, the civic leadership, the business leadership, is still completely silent. Silent. It's frustrating stuff. I get it. Some people on my feed there on the Twitter X there at Tony Katz, you love the city. This is just incredibly frustrating. You want things to work. You want the place to be successful. We're the place that can do such incredible work for the NBA Finals. It's going to be incredible WNBA All-Star Weekend. It's going to be amazing. We can't do the blocking and the tackling. It's only when there's a special event and we have to put on a show for everybody else that somehow we get some nice makeup going and we can make it through the dinner party without everything falling apart. That is no way to live. We're the ones who live here every day, and it's not working. And the people we elect are wrong, and the rules and regulations we put out there are wrong, and the lack of honesty is wrong. And you know what we get told when we don't live in Indianapolis? You don't live here. It's none of your concern. Those people have always been wrong. Always, and they continue to be. Well, it's just, gang members taking out gang members or bad elements taking out bad elements. It's just a self-cleaning oven. Gross terminology, by the way. It's not that, is it? It's not that in the slightest. It's far deeper. The effect on the city continues. And we don't have any leadership that's willing to stand up. Honestly, it's us. It's you, and it's those of us at WIBC. We seem to be it. I don't know why this is, but I don't think we should be stopping anytime soon. I think we should be sticking with it, staying on it. And I don't know whether we can convince people. I don't know if it has to be guilting people or shaming people to being proactive, to making changes in Indianapolis and demanding better. But if that's what it takes, whether it's the civic leaders, business leaders, anybody else, elected leaders, we'll try everything, and maybe we'll find something that works. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field. And my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO, AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Applied Innovation customer Alicia Staley, office manager for McEnany Roofing, has reduced dependency on paper with a document management solution from Applied Innovation.
So it makes looking for documents pretty much effortless.
With this paperless solution and improved workflow, you recommend Applied Innovation?
Oh, yes. I like to talk to a lot of different people. I'm the social butterfly, so as much as I can spread how wonderful they are, I definitely do. And I've never had such prompt customer service and care like this with any other company.
Your slogan, Innovative Solution Since 1985, is perfect for your Applied Innovation partnership.
There's a lot of benefits. I have to say, number one, definitely a great partnership. Two, financial-wise, we have saved a lot of money by signing up with Applied Innovation.
Start your partnership and save money. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit applieddinnovation.com.
Fostech is the family-owned business that makes incredible firearms right here in Indiana. Fostech, created by 2 career firefighters and 1 U.S. Air Force veteran. They create special, unique firearms, American craftsmanship meeting cutting-edge technology. Their Origin 12 shotgun is the envy of the industry, and all their products are designed, machined, assembled, and tested right here in Indiana. Visit Fostech to find a dealer near you, or follow Fostech on Facebook and Instagram at Fostech_Inc. Fostech, Fostech, Fostech.com.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what's going on?
What's happening, Tony? Looking at a 5-minute delay on inbound 69, 106th Street, 282nd. Southbound 65, a grind this morning for 38th Kessler to West Street, 13-minute delay. Northbound 65 through the construction, slow South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. It westbound 70 slows at Sherman Drive into the north split. On the east side, northbound 465 tied to around Penn Pike before and after. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh the vibe with 69 cents large big gulp drinks. Speedy Rewards app required. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
66 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:15.
It's Andy Moore's Summer Tent Sale in Avon. 4 days only, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. You'll find more savings, more selection, more than 1,000 used cars priced to move, plus our lowest lease deals of the summer. Shop Andy Moore Avon Nissan, Kia, Toyota, and Volkswagen, all packed under one tent on Rockville Road, East US Highway 36. Get more for your money, only at Andy Moore Avon and online at andymore.com.
So the latest on the flood is 104. In Texas, these floods, Kerr County, Texas, Guadalupe River, 104 people are dead. The story is just beyond horrific. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. The questions about evacuations, about why camping took place on these riverbanks when flash floods were known to occur, I think these are all legitimate questions. I think these are all legitimate questions. I think that blaming Trump or Republicans for flash flooding is very weird. Authorities are stating that they are going to give it a little time before they get into some of these questions. Well, that's okay. The question before us is, has there been reason known to not be engaging in camping in these areas? That's a worthy question. Well, the National Weather Service didn't warn anybody. That's not a worthy statement. That's a lie. And everything that ideologically has been put out there has been a lie. These are not the only lies being told. I have been as clear as I can be that I want to know who was on the island with Jeffrey Epstein, who was involved in child sex trafficking, and I want them to go to jail, and I don't care about their name, and I don't care about their money, and I don't care about their family. Their last name was Trump, or their last name was Clinton, or their last name was Gates, or their last name was name it. I want them in jail. So now all of a sudden that there's been an exhaustive review of everything involving Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and there's no incriminating client list or additional documents that warrant public disclosure. I don't believe you, Pam Bondi, and I don't believe you, Dan Bongino, and I don't believe you, Kash Patel. I just don't. I'm being lied to. We're all being lied to. We know it. I saw that Dave Marcus, who I like quite a bit, who writes over there at Fox News, the Epstein list was always a nothing burger. No, it's not, and we're not going to do that. I vehemently disagree with that statement. It is real and it is important. Children were sex trafficked. If that is not important, then nothing is. And I reject the idea wholeheartedly that somehow and in some way there's no list, there's no story. All we heard was we were going to get the information, we were going to get the story, we were going to get the list, and now there's no list. And of course, I now have those on the, what do they call it, the new right, the woke right, whatever the, I hate all that kind of terminology. Well, you see, they can't release the list because Jeffrey Epstein, he was working for Mossad. I have no idea. I'm not buying into crazy. I will simply tell you, I don't care if he was. I don't care where he was working. Who was with him on the island engaging in sexual impropriety with children? And I want those people in jail, including Prince Andrew. I want them frog marched into a court. Everything surrounding this new response says, yeah, there are two Americas. What's it to you, kid? Every single thing. There is no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Did he blackmail non-prominent individuals? And who were they? We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. I'm sorry. Nah. No. I do not have a conspiratorial bone in my body. I'm just being lied to, and so are you. I like Dan Bongino. Well, he's been very nice to me. I hope I've been very nice to him. I want him to know I flat out don't believe him. And this is, in a very ugly way, where this is going to end. It's going to end here because what else can be done? What else can be pushed? Can I, if it's not the Trump administration willing to say, here's what happened, what am I going to get? And I find myself in agreement with some people who I don't like. I find myself in agreement with some people who I find gross, the worst, everything that should possibly be despised by the political right. And one of the reasons I shouldn't say one of the reasons, people who I gladly stay away from. I just don't believe it. You can't say this is on my desk right now, Pam Bondi. You can't say this is on my desk, I'm working on this, and then say, oh, it was nothing. There's no, what's that? Who's still talking about that? My gosh, why would anybody talk about that? Good Lord. Really gross. This very concept of two Americas sickens me. Sickens me. But the Mossad story is the best. That's just a whole bunch of joy right there. That this is the kind of thing that's being pushed. That's why it's not being released. Once again, it's the crafty Jews. And speaking of, this is the latest on Twitter towards me. There's absolutely no reason for a Christian country to protect you Jews unless our leaders are complicit. So not only are we keeping the Epstein files at bay, somehow I've also corrupted the whole nation. Man, there are reasons. There are reasons to find a different line of work. Everybody's nuts. Very disappointed, though. And no, I would tell Dan and anybody else directly, don't believe you. Don't believe you, Kash Patel. Don't believe you, Pam Bondi. Don't believe you, Dan Bongino. Don't believe you, President Trump. I will leave it there, and I will move on. As for tariffs, President Trump now levying tariffs on Korea, South Korea, and Japan, 25% tariffs. As we said, once the One Big Beautiful Bill is passed, he's got to get on to other things. This is one of the other things that he has gotten onto. I don't know why you're tariffing Japan. I thought you had already had a deal with Japan. You're going to try and get them to the negotiation table for what? A deal that's not even going to be an actual deal? The markets took some hits yesterday. It's all right. The markets can come back from those things. But we're still in this place where no deals have come through. We simply had gotten to a place of, okay, this is the way it's going to be, and the markets could accept that, and everything was going to just kind of move along. And then here come these new tariffs. And not only this, not only on Japan and South Korea, there's a deadline approaching for a trade deal with the European Union. That would at least stop the 50% tariffs from going into play. So keep your eyes open over the next day or two, how some of this plays out. Now that the One Big Beautiful Bill is out of the way, Trump is free to do other things like pursue this policy. So far, tariffs haven't had massive effect on the economy. I would like to keep it that way. I don't know what a new round does for the economy and for the very concept of stability. Matt Baer has got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Northbound 65, stop and go from South Keystone Avenue into the South Split because of construction, a 4-minute delay. Inbound 65 slows from the White River Bridge to West Street, delayed 11 minutes. Westbound 70 slowed to the North Split from Emerson, and inbound 69 tight 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now with Dream Baths by B. Get 2 bathroom remodels for the price of 1, plus a free entry door and 24 months same as cash with 0 interest. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob. Be sure to join us Tuesday. Bruce Schumacher, Vice President of Corporate Affairs for the Indianapolis Indians, will be with us to talk about baseball in the Circle City. We'll see you 9 to noon, 93 WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
For nearly 100 years, Busey Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. Busey Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndieDecorativeConcrete.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More than 100 killed. Your radar's clear. It's sunny 68 in downtown Indianapolis. The high today, 86. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 8:31. Over 100 people are dead, including dozens of children at a summer camp after flash flooding swept through parts of central Texas. Kerrville, Texas resident Joyce Pierce mourns the victims.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
The search continues for survivors as more heavy rain is forecast for the region. President Trump is expected to visit the area on Friday. Also in Texas, ICE agents reportedly attacked on Monday, just days after an attack near a detention facility.
A gunman was shot and killed after police say he started shooting at a Border Patrol annex in McAllen, Texas. The suspect was identified as 27-year-old Ryan Lewis Mosqueda. The attack in McAllen came days after another violent incident in Texas just outside of Dallas. Authorities say an officer from Alvarado was shot in the neck after several people opened fire on officers outside the Prairieland Detention Center, which is an ICE facility. The Justice Department is calling this an organized ambush, adding that some of the suspects were wearing body armor and had two-way radios.
Fox's Madeline Rivera reporting 10 people were charged in that attack. The Department of Homeland Security says assaults on ICE agents have risen to 79 from January to June, compared to just 10 over the same period last year. President Trump says he's going to send more weapons to Ukraine as Russian air assaults are getting heavier.
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now.
The announcement comes days after the Pentagon said they would hold back on the supply of some air defense missiles out of concern that U.S. stockpiles were too low. More involving the president, he's expected to hold a cabinet meeting today as the administration tries to increase pressure on Israel and Hamas to reach another ceasefire deal. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with more U.S. officials today after he got to D.C. yesterday and met with Trump. Meanwhile, Iran has not yet confirmed if it will restart nuclear talks with the United States. A federal judge in Maryland is denying the government's request to drop Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wrongful deportation challenge now that he's been returned to the U.S.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia's legal challenge to his wrongful deportation from Maryland to El Salvador will continue. That ruling from a federal judge even after the government's decision to bring him back to the U.S. to face criminal charges in Tennessee. There's also pending a decision on Abrego Garcia's release, for which the judge trying to pin down the government's plans that include possible deportation. Again, his lawyer, Simon Sandoval Moschenberg.
If they want to deport him to a third country, they need to name that country
and they need to describe the process by which they're going to give him due process.
Fox's Jeff Manalso reporting the judge has scheduled another hearing on the case for this Thursday. Now, sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Pacers President Kevin Pritchard reflecting on the NBA season at Summer League practice on Monday.
We weren't sure what we were going to be, but we always believed that we would come together. What that ceiling was, we truly didn't know. But, I couldn't be more proud.
The Pacers also confirming the inevitable on Monday that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire 2025-26 season due to his Achilles injury. The team will begin Summer League play on Thursday against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Vegas. And Caitlin Clark is listed as out for Wednesday night's game against the Golden State Valkyries. She returned to practice for the first time in a couple of weeks back on Monday. Head coach Stephanie White was eager to have her work with Ari McDonald.
I think you can give her a break. I think we can get her and our team different looks when that happens. So, this is really the first time that we've been able to practice that. So look forward to exploring that a little bit more.
Indiana is now 9-9 on the season, hoping to get back above and stay above 500. Now with another look at traffic, how are we doing, Matt Bear?
All right, Jarrett, looking at westbound 70 slow after Emerson into the north split over the flyover ramp to Meridian. Then really starts to grind as you make it through the north split. Inbound 65 stop and go before MLK down to West Street. Southside construction slowdown northbound 65 South Keystone Avenue into the south split. East side northbound 465 slow from 72 Penn Pike. Inbound 69 drags from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by B Window right now with Dream Baths by B. Get 2 bathroom remodels for the price of 1, plus a free entry door in 24 months, same as cash with 0 interest. Trust local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
66 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. Be a responsible gun owner. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. What is going on? Dow futures down 47. NASDAQ futures up 63. So the tariff kerfuffle is now done again until the next one? Possibly. Oil price is $67.88. The oil has been creeping up a little over the last 3 weeks since the hit on the Iranian nuclear facilities, which I still agree with. West Texas crude now at $67.88 a barrel. Brent crude at $69.64 a barrel. The 10-year Treasury, 4.421. No mortgage relief in sight. Cool story about the world's most valuable sports empires, because this is a different look at it. Right? There's a conversation about what teams have the most value. This is a different conversation because, for example, if you take a look at number 1 on this list, it involves much more than the ownership of one specific franchise. So I'll give you an example. The Irsay family and the owner of the Colts are not on this list, because they own that franchise, not other franchises. You do have Ted Leonsis, who owns the NBA's Washington Wizards, the NHL's Washington Capitals, Monument Sports Network, and the Washington Mystics of the WNBA. That's $7.8 billion. Right? You've got the owner of the Cleveland Browns and Major League Soccer's Columbus Crew, which does great work out there, and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's Jimmy Haslam. That's $9 billion. So we're talking about these groupings. You have Stephen Ross,
You're talking about owning the Miami Dolphins, Formula One, Crypto.com, Miami Grand Prix, and the Miami Open Tennis. That's $9.5 billion. Shahid Khan, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he also owns Fulham FC in the Premier League and All Elite Wrestling. Almost $10 billion. The Glazer family, which owns the Buccaneers and they own Man U, is $10 billion. But the big one is not the Jones family. The big one is not Jerry Jones, who owns the Dallas Cowboys, and the Star in Frisco. No, that's $15 billion. No. It's Kroenke. The Los Angeles Rams, the Denver Nuggets of the NBA, the Colorado Avalanche of the NHL, and the Arsenal from the Premier League. $21 billion. $21 billion. That's a tremendous amount of dollars right there. I would still argue that it's better to own Twitter. Elon got a lot of hits, if you remember correctly. Why would you buy Twitter? $40 billion. You could just, you could have a sports team. Isn't that way cooler? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's way cooler or not. I think I'd rather own Twitter personally. I wonder which one makes more money. The value, right, one thing, but which one makes more money? Oh, now I'm curious. I gotta find out. What makes more money, Twitter or an NFL team? I don't know. Owning the means by which people communicate? Is that like a power-hungry move? Something. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Another update is just minutes away.
President Trump is threatening an extra import tax.
Higher tariffs as early as August 1st.
I think we'll have most countries done by July 9th. Yeah.
Flash flooding in central Texas.
Frantic search.
Hear the news.
Driving in the wrong direction, killing at least one person, all eastbound lanes.
As events happen.
5 people shot.
We'll happen to be there.
14-year-old boy jumped off a boat, rescued to recovery, likely drowned.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out our variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number.
The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Join Hammer and Nigel this Saturday from 11 to 1 at the grand opening of the all-new Hubler Toyota, 8055 US 31 South. Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles, now available on all new Toyotas. Join Hammer and Nigel this Saturday.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel are rolling into Andy Moore Kia this Friday, 11 to 1. Swing by for a great time, cool prizes, and some of the hottest summer deals around. Don't miss your chance to save big and hang out with the crew.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, what's happening?
Southbound 65 delayed 11 minutes from the White River Bridge to West Street. Northbound 65 slow out of the north split to West End. On the south side, northbound 65 stop and go from South Keystone Avenue into the south split, a 4-minute delay. East side, northbound 465 slow roll off 70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got 68 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:45. Oh, come on!
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here?
This is
Somebody
not.
tell me, please.
This isn't even trying, producer Carl. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. What is going on? It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that TV theme song? Here is how we play the game. Producer Carl picks a television theme song from yesteryear. I have to guess what it is. You are never going to out Bob Saget me. Turn it up.
But does Matt Bear know?
I don't need to phone a friend. You want me to do it anyway?
Yeah.
All right, I know what it is, but that's fine. I'll phone a friend. Matt Bear, what is this television theme song?
You said Bob Saget, right?
Yes.
Okay, this, I'm not sure, but I think it's Gunsmoke.
Right.
Bob Saget and Gunsmoke.
I couldn't remember.
God, first of all, Full House. Secondly, now, if you really wanted to go into San Francisco culture, you would have done the theme to Too Close for Comfort. Right?
Maybe sometime later.
Right? And a whole bunch of J.M. Bullock.
I think we did Too Close.
Oh, no, we did not. I would have remembered Too Close for Comfort. Or turn this off. I would have remembered Too Close for Comfort for sure. That would have been very, very easy. On Tony Katz today at noon, we will dig in more to this judge shopping that the left engaged in to stop legislation from going into effect. We're now in the place where the left says we don't like it when Congress passes a law and the president signs it into law, so we'll get judges to stop the law from being implemented. If you want to engage the concept of constitutional crisis, there you go. And if you want to talk about how the Supreme Court, specifically Chief Justice Roberts, is not doing enough to engage in admonishment of the lower courts in these types of situations, it is obvious that if you have a judge saying, no, this law isn't right, Planned Parenthood still gets their money. That's not a rational position. That is being an ideologue. These people are a danger to the court, and they need to be removed, or they need to be ignored. That's it. Just one of many, many things going on. I swear to you, there's certainly a lot of movement going on. Elon Musk is trying to make more moves with his new America party. He's starting a political party. And it turns out the political party is pro-gun. And you're like, well, that's great. And now he's having deep conversations with Andrew Yang. And you're like, that's right. I'm not interested. Hey, man, you do you. And I know there's going to be a whole bunch of people who are like, oh, this is great. This is terrific. This is wonderful. Because they want to get paid. The difference between this and, let's say, the Reform Party days of Ross Perot or others is that Elon has $300 billion to throw at something. And he has shown that he will throw money at something. He will do it. Boom, boom, boom. That is different. And no, you don't have to be able to be on the ballot in all 50 states. What you need to do is be able to go at one or two congressional elections, one or two local elections, maybe some mayoral elections, and get your people in. That's how it's built. It's built over time. Do I think it's going to work? I don't. I don't think there's actually an appetite for a third party. I don't think the appetite comes from the right places. It would seem to me that the people who are interested in something like this don't have enough. There aren't enough people to engage in a tipping point. There's not actually enough anger with the Republican Party. Now, can you pull Democrats out from a progressive party? Maybe. But then you have then you would have a party that isn't based on things that I would be in favor of. It's based on what? Well, once again, it's an emotional play, so it's populism, and no. So I'm going to stick with being a conservative. And I'm going to keep addressing the things that I think need to be addressed. Like, for example, there was a story out of News Nation that an estimated 12,000 Afghans are living in the U.S. legally with temporary protected status. It expires on July 14th. Many of these people are people who helped the U.S. military while we were in Afghanistan. These are people one would assume, and I make the assumption for the sake of this conversation, are vetted. And therefore, as I see it, they should be here. Not sent back, not having to deal with the Taliban. They helped the United States military. We owe them. I'm not quite sure how we don't. Now, I'm talking about people who were actually of service, people who did help, people who were there for our soldiers. I'm not talking about somebody who managed to get on the plane out of Afghanistan to the United States. It's a very different conversation. Although they may still have a very large issue with going back to Afghanistan. But the people who helped us, yeah, we have to turn this around. We have to get this done. We have to help these people. They have to be able to stay. We're insane. We're insane if we don't. I will have that story on Tony Katz today at noon. And I shared with you yesterday as the story broke, this man who was killed after firing at Border Patrol at a facility in McAllen, Texas. Walked up, was in gear, and started shooting. Well, this ties into the story out of Axios, where Democrats are saying that you have to be willing to get shot while confronting ICE. People online have sent me all sorts of crazy stuff, told me to storm the White House and stuff like that. This is what Democrats are hearing. Civility isn't working. Prepare for violence to fight for our democracy. They've been calling for a lone wolf for years. And it is clear and obvious that more and more people are willing to listen to that. Things are not going to get better. Things are sadly going to get more violent because you have people calling for the violence and not stopping. We'll break this down further. I will catch you guys at noon. Find everything at TonyKatz.com. Kendall and Casey are up next. Matt Bear has got traffic.
All right, I'm told West Street's a cluster right now as we check out